Welcome to this explainer. You know, I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're looking at something that completely challenges our understanding of human history and architecture. Let's dive right into a mind-bending journey over to Izmir, Turkey, to witness an awe-inspiring marvel of human endurance. We're going to look at a structure that isn't sitting behind velvet ropes in some museum. No, it's actually still out there, doing exactly what it was built to do thousands of years ago. So, what if you could cross a bridge that's actually older than ancient Rome? I really want you to imagine standing at a busy crossing today, right? You're hearing the sounds of modern life all around you. But then, suddenly, strip away all that modern context. Peel back the layers of time. You aren't just stepping back a few centuries here, you are transported all the way back to 850 BC. Rome, as the legendary empire we know today, didn't even exist yet. And yet, the ground beneath your feet in this exact spot was already supporting travelers.
2,900 years. That massive number is exactly how long this structure has continuously served humanity. It truly anchors its immense scale in history. When we think of things that are nearly 3,000 years old, we usually picture fragile pottery fragments, right? Or maybe weathered statues buried deep in the sand. We definitely don't usually think of public infrastructure that you can still casually walk across on your afternoon commute.
Let's set the scene in ancient Smyrna, which is the modern-day Turkish city of Izmir. We're looking at a rapidly changing Mediterranean world. At this time, powerful emerging kingdoms controlled these expanding trade routes linking Asia, Europe, and Africa. This coastal region was a booming hub of activity. People from all over the known world were converging here, making it just an absolutely critical juncture for both commerce and civilization.
To truly understand the urgent need for this crossing over the Melis River, we have to look at the sheer explosion of inland commerce. Merchants weren't just moving basic supplies back then. They were carrying immense wealth. We're talking highly sought-after precious spices, intricately woven textiles, and valuable metals. But perhaps most importantly, they were carrying new cultural ideas. To keep all this wealth and knowledge flowing seamlessly into the city, an unbreakable river crossing was absolutely essential.
And this is exactly where the bridge gets its iconic name. For centuries, it served as the literal gateway of caravans. Just imagine the sights and sounds for a second. Massive camel trains heavily loaded with rich inland cargo, steadily making their way across these very stones. It wasn't just a convenient way to avoid getting wet in the Melis River, it became the ultimate symbol of prosperity and the economic lifeblood for ancient Smyrna. Literally everyone who was anyone traveling from those inland routes had to pass over this exact spot.
Now, let's shift our focus from the bustling noise of commerce over to the realm of cultural romance. We need to look at the deep mythological roots of the Michlis River flowing peacefully right beneath it. You know, a bridge is intimately tied to the water it crosses, and the Michlis River carries stories that are just as ancient and captivating as the stones arching over it. It isn't just a geographical feature, it's a legendary current of history all on its own.
What's truly fascinating about this is how these ancient stories, whether they're entirely true or not, weave this incredible layer of Western literary history right into the stonework. Ancient traditions firmly associate the Melis River with the legendary poet Homer, the mastermind behind the Iliad and the Odyssey. There are even claims that he was actually born right near these riverbanks. So when you stand on this bridge, you are essentially standing at the mythic birthplace of Western epic literature. How wild is that?
Okay, so the absolute crucial point here is, how did this specific structure actually survive? Think about it. Almost every other monument from that era has crumbled to dust. How did these stones survive catastrophic earthquakes, raging floods, and devastating wars over 3 millennia? It's a question that completely baffles the modern mind, especially when we constantly see our own contemporary infrastructure requiring massive, expensive repairs after just a few decades.
Well, it all comes down to brilliant simplicity. The builders relied on the arch. It's an incredibly elegant engineering design that relies entirely on physics and gravity rather than complex, fragile technology. By carefully placing stone blocks, the immense weight of the bridge and everything crossing it is perfectly distributed outward and downward right into the solid earth. It's really just a harmonious partnership with gravity.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between how we build today and how they built in antiquity. Modern bridges, they depend on complex materials, right? Steel that rusts, concrete that cracks, which often means much shorter functional lifespans. Meanwhile, the Caravan bridge, built with those simple, unyielding stone blocks and gravity-based weight distribution, has achieved thousands of years of uninterrupted survival. It just goes to show that sometimes the simplest design is truly the most invincible.
But this epic saga of endurance goes far beyond just engineering. It's really about surviving the chaotic, shifting tides of human power. The Caravan Bridge hasn't just survived nature. It has survived the rise and fall of almost every single major civilization that has defined the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern world. I mean, just think about the sheer scale of history that has marched across these stones. Built in the Iron Age around 850 BC, it saw the Persians sweep through, followed by the Greeks. It withstood the massive expansion of the Roman Empire, the Byzantines, and later the Seljuks and Ottomans, all the way into the 20th century. All these mighty reigns and emperors vanished into history, leaving behind ruins and dust. But the bridge? It silently and steadily endured it all, serving the common traveler through every single regime. Which brings us to a really profound realization. The Caravan Bridge is the ultimate survivor. As we talked about earlier, most structures from antiquity exist only as dead ruins today. We visit them, take some pictures, look at them, but we don't actively use them. This bridge, however, remains a living, breathing part of modern Izmir's infrastructure. People walk across it today to get to work, run errands, or meet friends, largely unaware that they are participating in a 2,900-year-old daily routine.
Now, its survival isn't magic. It is an anatomy of continuous care. Over the centuries, essential repairs and modifications were carefully made to preserve the core crossing. By the 20th century, modern additions were even built right alongside the historic stones to widen the path for modern traffic. Yet, beneath it all, that original Iron Age foundation is still there, successfully bearing weight today. While older Mycenaean bridges do exist in Greece, they are merely broken ruins. This one has a continuous, unbroken record of active daily service.
All of this leads us to a pretty staggering official recognition. Guinness World Records has officially certified it as the oldest datable bridge in the world still in use. That's not just some local myth. It is a documented, verified fact that elevates the Caravan Bridge from a mere historical artifact to one of humanity's absolute greatest surviving achievements. It is an incredible testament to the anonymous builders who laid those stones nearly 3 millennia ago. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. What modern structures, if any, will still be standing 3,000 years from today? When we look up at our modern skyscrapers and sprawling highways, it really forces us to reflect on our own legacy. True engineering, as we've seen today, doesn't just connect opposite riverbanks, it connects entire eras of human history. The Caravan Bridge is literally a bridge across time itself. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the incredible history hiding in plain sight.